Hey, it's me. Let's look at the human personality from what I believe is a fresh point of view. Before we do that, though, I just want to review a little bit what we've talked about so far. So, we talked about the universe, creation, and how humans fit into it. That led us to see why personal growth and self purification really matter. Then we focused on what we call the images or distortions in the soul. Misunderstandings, fears, habits that cause conflict and unhappiness. Most of our work so far has been about uncovering and dealing with these negative parts we try to hide. This phase is only part of what we need to do for full self-growth. People tend to push down not only the negative parts, but also the positive and creative things inside. So our intention is not just healing what's sick, it's also making sure your best qualities come out. So on a side note, if you skipped any episode so far, at this point you may wish to go back and review those to cover phase 1 fully. Now that being said, all episodes can be consumed as standalone episodes. At the same time, my intention is that each episode builds upon the previous one. And of course, you're always welcome to get in touch with me personally to help you work through phase 1 and this upcoming phase as well. So why do we hide our positive side? Well, you might think it's only the unpleasant stuff we bury. People are funny though. We often hide our strongest, most uplifting traits too. Sometimes we do it because we believe our environment disapproves, or we believe it's not allowed. So for example, you might have a talent or desire that doesn't match your family's or maybe society's expectations, so you suppress it. In the previous episode, we talked about shame of the higher self. That shame can be a big factor, and there's also many personal reasons why we don't show our gifts. The more your hidden negative tendencies linger, the harder it is for the real spark within you to shine. And there's also the way we hide our spiritual nature. Even if you're now okay with exploring your spiritual side, which if you're listening to this, you probably are, you may have held back before, maybe from shame or fear about what people would think. True spirituality is personal. Organized religion or any rigid system can't fully guide your individual path. When you bend to outside rules at the cost of your own inner growth, you often end up feeling lost and strained inside. So in the coming episodes, we'll keep working on finding and clearing negative images. So we'll still look at where you're tripping yourself up with old misconceptions and fears. We'll also look at uncovering suppressed positives. We're going to dig into the creative forces, hidden strengths, and personal directions you might have buried. I want you to feel comfortable expressing what's truly you. And we'll look at understanding and gently controlling your thought process. We focused a lot on emotions, but now we're also going to talk on your thoughts, particularly those in the background of your mind and how those can influence your life. Each of these areas blends into the others. Recognizing how they connect is key to developing the whole personality. So let's start with a glimpse into thought control. And to do that, we need to differentiate between foreground thoughts and background thoughts. So foreground thoughts are thoughts you choose to have. They're clear, they're deliberate. Whereas background thoughts aren't deliberate and tend to pop up or jump around. They might recycle events of the day unspoken worries, wishful fantasies, or random snippets of conversations. Some of these background thoughts might hint at deeper conflicts, while others are just mental noise. Uncontrolled background thoughts can zap your energy, distract you, and keep you from focusing on what you really want to think about. They also get in the way of mental calm. So I like to share an approach that doesn't suppress these thoughts, but rather makes you more aware of them so you can decide what's useful and what's not. It's a simple exercise. It will take you maybe 5 minutes, and I would encourage you to do this daily, maybe even twice daily. The first couple steps are around creating a state of stillness, right? So you want to find a quiet spot, sit comfortably. I'd recommend not lying down, ideally in a place where you're not going to be interrupted or distracted. And then you want to let yourself relax, calmly pay attention to your slow breathing. Maybe watch the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen. Or you can focus on your third eye, the point between your eyebrows, whatever you feel comfortable with. The goal here is to let yourself relax and bring your focus to that one thing, your breath or that point between your eyebrows. Once you've experienced that state of calm and relaxation, begin to bring your attention to those stray thoughts that pop up. Okay, so it's about observing those background thoughts. Each time it happens, each time a thought pops up, calmly bring your attention back to your breathing or your chosen focus. It's okay if you get swept away at first. Simply and gently become aware of where your mind wandered and bring yourself back. Now, when a background thought is particularly strong, maybe something pressing that may point to a conflict, you can decide either to examine it right then, or you can note it for later. Right? So you might want to have a journal handy to note that down. Regardless, you always want to return to watching your breath or point of focus. So to go through that once again, find a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted. Let yourself relax. Calmly pay attention to your slowed breathing. Observe the background thoughts, so notice how those stray thoughts pop up. And each time that happens, gently and calmly bring your attention back to your breathing. Okay, if you get swept away, just gently pull yourself back each time you do. As you practice this, you might occasionally experience a moment of true stillness where your mind settles, i.e., there's no background thoughts that are popping up. That calm state can become longer with time. Don't force it or get frustrated if you keep drifting. Every time you notice you've drifted, progress in self-awareness. So why does this matter? Well, for a few reasons. You're going to conserve energy. Background thoughts can drain you, even if you're unaware they're spinning in your mind. You're going to build awareness. Spotting your mental wanderings helps you learn what's really on your mind, often revealing emotional issues. You'll strengthen your inner will. This gentle focus trains you to direct your thoughts without harsh discipline or ignoring your feelings. And you'll often reduce anxiety. A calmer mind is less scattered, allowing you to handle tasks and emotions more smoothly. So going forward, I encourage you to reflect on 1, desires you once had but gave up. Were they actually healthy wishes you squashed because of others' disapproval? Or were they based on immature motives? Reflect on how to sense the difference between your purposeful, i.e. foreground thoughts, and the background noise to differentiate between those two. And gently practice that 5-minute focus exercise we just went through without any harshness or judgment towards yourself. As we go forward, we're going to build on these ideas, continuing to clear out negative patterns, uncover your deeper gifts and passions, and learn how to guide your thoughts in a truly freeing way. I'd love to hear about how you progress with this. Tell me what your experience with this 5-minute focus exercise is. Love you. Connect soon.